there, this is Andreas with XpressPads Finger Drumming, and today I'd like to show you how you can configure your Maschine or Maschine Micro or Maschine Studio in order to make it work with the XpressPads Finger Drumming technique. And the reason why I make this video is because the Maschine itself, together with the Maschine software, that's quite a complex system in total, and sometimes it's hard if you go beyond standards to configure the Maschine in order to make it work the way you like to work, right? So you have actually three different ways of preparing the Maschine for XpressPads Finger Drumming, because it's a special layout that you need for the XpressPads Finger Drumming technique. One is just to go through each and every pad, put a bass drum, snare drum, hi-hats and so on each pad, just mirror it in the middle so that you have 8 pads on the right hand side and 8 pads on the left hand side. But this means that you would each and every time have to recreate a certain layout whenever you go into a new project, and that's not what you want. You want to be, you want to have a quick workflow. You want to be really on the spot when you have an idea, and you just want to load a preset, right? And that's what I will explain to you. The other option, which is also possible, and which I've also prepared a couple of presets for, which you can download from the website. That's the use of the MIDI mode that you can go into with the Maschine. But what I will show you today is how you can use Maschine to control your plugins within the software without doing manual changes on each pad all the time. So it's actually a solution with which you can use a complete set of different sounds just by the click of a button. Okay, so yeah, that's the reason why I do this video. You might find it a bit long because I go into different areas here and there, but I think it will help you, because you will not just use that method with the XpressPads Finger Drumming layout. You can use it for actually everything. So whenever you have a plugin which needs a certain preset, which needs a certain MIDI layout, then this video will help you. So let's get started. Okay, so let's get started. Here you see I have group A, and on group A I have already the pre-configured preset, that group, and you can see the bass drums, they're colored in red, snare is yellow, those are the hi-hats, the closed and the open one in orange, those are the toms in blue, in lilac we have the crash cymbal, and in green we have the ride cymbal. Now this red one here, that's the important one, because this is the pad where we need to place the plugin, the drum plugin that we want to use. And the good thing is you will notice whenever you play something it disappears, but once you hit this pad the plugin here reopens, and the reason for that is that I just have it open here on that pad. When you close it, then it won't appear. Yeah, so now it doesn't appear. But I usually leave it open, because that's good if you want to switch in between presets of your virtual drum module. And here you can see I'm using Addictive Drums 2, and I have a couple of extensions for that. So if you look at these kits, those are all expansions, and what I usually do when I do finger drumming, I try different sounds and I try different presets of my virtual drum module, and I want to do it quickly. And in this setup here, as I show it to you, it's really easy to switch presets. Yeah, so you play something, and then you say, well, okay, I don't like the preset, so let's take another one. Just hit the red button here, and you take another one, and there you go. And okay, so that's just to give you an overview of what your end result will be after you have created the template. So let's just create a new one. And the way I do it, I just open up a new group. At the moment it's empty, and now the question is, how do you configure that, and why do you take this pad here as your virtual drum module slot? And the reason for that is you probably don't use this one pad that often, so much less often than you use the bass drum or the snare drum or the hi-hats, which of course are not part of that layout yet, or the toms or the crash cymbal. Yeah, so another reason is you have the alternating hands technique, and usually if you play binary drum grooves, which means that the groove is the main time of the groove is dividable by 2, you usually play your main accents and your main time with the right hand, or with your leading hand I should say if you're a left-handed person, and then you really seldom use that pad. Okay, that's just a little bit of background. Let's now get into programming the layout. So on pad 14 we will choose a virtual drum module. In this case I will just go to my external plugins, and then I will choose Addictive Drums 2 as I just did, and take a little bit of time to load. And their Maschine breaks down. Okay, I think we're back after reloading the Maschine software, which just crashed, but I have to say I clicked the mouse button probably a bit too often, so it might just be me doing the wrong thing here. So I've just loaded the preset again, and by the way, I've created this preset, and of course I will put it in the footer, so in the notes below the video on YouTube, and also I'll put it in the blog post on the XpressPads website, where I also will put this video, so you can download it from there. But if you don't, it's really good to know how to pre-configure Maschine in a way that you can use it with anything, you know. So this is not just about finger drumming. This is also, you can use it for different purposes as well, of course. Okay, so we said we wanted to use a separate group for this layout, and we want to use pad number 14 for our drum module slot. And well, maybe this time I will just take another virtual instrument. So let's take another drum kit. Okay, let's take Addictive Drums 1. Takes a little bit of time to load. Okay, and there we are. Double click and hope this time it opens without any problems. Okay, good. So next thing that you need to note is when you load a virtual drum module, usually the virtual drum module manufacturers, they have their specific layouts that they use with the software, and I can only recommend use the general MIDI standard, because this is universally used. You can actually control any virtual drum module with this, but usually you need to go to your mapping window and then change the defaults to general MIDI or GM here. And once you've done that, you're on a good place to go with it. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to go to your sound menu, and then on the sound menu you can click on any other slot or any other pad that you have here. And I will start with pad number 1 and go to this section over here and then go to MIDI. And on MIDI you need to select Addictive Drums as the destination of that pad, and that's here called S14, but that means this pad here controls the pad over there. Yeah, so, and the pad over there is 14, channel 14, so we will also put that to channel 14. I can also use the hardware to do this, and then usually something should happen. There it is. Okay, and that means with this pad you control now the plugin that sits on pad 14, and there's just a basic note that always is assigned to those pads by default, and you want to change that default note, so you need to transpose it, to MIDI transpose it, and that's what I just done where you heard the crash symbol. So you can tune down your pad, and this way you will also get to the right slot. And here you see that's the snare drum. So as expected, this would be the bass drum 2 notes below 22. So your bass drum sits where it sits, and then you can go to the next pad, which is in this case the opposite pad. So it's the mirrored layout that we have here for XpressPads Finger Drumming. And so this pad needs to configure it exactly the same way as that pad here. So we'll just do it with the hardware here. So we again use channel 14, and we will transpose it by -24 steps. And of course we need to set the destination to Addictive Drums. And the same we will do for all other pads. And just to do it more quickly, we can first do the steps that we choose the right destination pad. Now we always have the right destination pad. So the second one is that you would need to know which note numbers correspond with the right kit piece of your virtual drum module. And here I know, okay, the snare drum is 2 above the bass drum, the kick drum. Yeah, so it's since this one was -24, means that this one needs to be on -22. Same here, -22. And once you have that, you can just also use a different approach. You can go to your bass drum, which was -24, and you know that all the other main kit pieces, they are closely located to the kick drum. So when this is the kick drum, here on 23 we have the side stick, and you can just tune yourself through the different notes. Yeah? Okay, there was the closed hi-hat, and we will just copy it to the same place over here. Okay, next one would be the open hi-hat, and that was probably also close to the closed hi-hat. There it is, -14, and you can play your first groove. So, and then you do the same with the other pads, which I will just do without filming it, and then get back shortly. Okay, I think the pads are now configured, at least from the note assignments. Now we just want to add some color to this, and I think the easiest way to do it is here on the software. And we also want to name it because that makes it easier to understand later on. So that's the kick drum on pad 1. There we have another kick drum. Here we have the closed hi-hat, same as we do here. And I'll just go ahead Okay, so I've now named all the different slots, and at the end of the day we also want to color them so that we can distinguish them. So that's easy too. So we go with a right click on color, and here for kick drums I will just take red. Same I will do for the drum module that I use, and well, I think I chose orange for the hi-hats. And here we'll choose orange also for the open hi-hats, not only the closed. Okay, and well then what did we have here? We have blue for the toms. So let's take it here as well. And I think it was lilac for the crash cymbals. Let's take this one here. Pink, rather pink, right? And okay, the right one, I think it was green. And I think we're done. Just one more thing to add. The pad where the virtual drum module sits, you can mute that. Yeah, so by default in this occasion it is not mapped to any sound when I just hit it in the default position, but that doesn't have to be once you load a different drum module. Yeah? So I will mute it so nothing can happen. However, the other pads which link to this pad number 14, your virtual drum module, they will generate a sound. Okay, so next step, let's save it. That goes via clicking the right button and then save. And here I will just call it GM MIDI standard for video. And yeah, okay, so something that I still want to tell you is with this saved preset, you can now just go to a new group and create a new setup. And the good thing is, you see it's loaded. You can now go to your section where you can load your virtual drum module, and then you can just load anything. Yeah, so sorry, I need to pick the right slot here. Okay, here Addictive Drums is loaded because it's saved with this preset, but you can also choose other presets. So I will go to Native Instruments now and pick, for example, well, where are my drums, my drum modules? Abbey Road. No one sees Abbey Road. Okay, let's take another one. Let's take Easy Drummer. Yeah, okay. So Easy Drummer is loaded now, and I'll double click, and I'll just take the main drum kit that is loaded here by default. And the machine crashes again. Well, I didn't cut that out of the video, so you can see the machine has crashed 2 times now, which is kind of annoying. Problem probably is that I clicked the mouse button too quickly, while I didn't see that the software was working on something. Anyway, I'll just try it again. Try again with Easy Drummer. So external Easy Drummer is here. I'll just give it a little bit more time to load, and then we'll see if it crashes again. So nothing seems to happen right now, so I double click. Okay, something seems to happen now. It's loading. I will just let it load without clicking on it. Now it's loaded. And let's see, okay, I can move around. Let's see how it works now with this layout. Bass drum, snare drum, close hi-hat, open, tom, tom, crash, right cymbal. Okay, we're ready to go. Good, and well, this works for every virtual drum module that you have, which supports the general MIDI protocol. So that's a standard. Most of them should have it. So I really hope that this will make it easier for you to work with Maschine together with a virtual drum module plugin. Yeah, and just the XpressPads Finger Drumming technique. So enjoy, and well, if you like that, please subscribe, please like the video, and well, see you again soon.